Hello everyone and welcome to Kimball's Curiosities. And for this curiosity today, I'm going to be discussing what I've been up to. Since I've been doing a lot of videos, I figured I'd let you know what's going on. First of all, real life stuff, work, to pay for some of the equipment, and then computer issues. Not just my own, other people's. My stepdaughter had approached me and said that her laptop was running extremely slow, so I took a look at it. And after a little bit of investigation, I ended up discovering that her hard drive was running at 100%. So I did some deep dive digging and to see if it was a controller issue, hard drive issue, etc., etc. And it ended up being, I drilled down that it was a hard drive issue and that it was starting to fail. So after many struggles to try to get that fixed, it took a while because I ran into issues on my computer when trying to install software that was going to help me. Anyways, for those of you that don't know, for the sake of going over, I'm going to tell you what, what you're to look for if you ever have that problem. So you have a slow computer booting. And you're wondering why it's taking a long time to load and stuff like that. One of the things to look at is right here, this disk here. That should not be running at 100% all the time. It should be up and down. Yeah, it will hit 100%, but at most times it should be at idle speed when you're not doing anything, and 50% or up to 70% on a short-term basis. It can run to 100% if you're doing a Windows update. That was one of the things that I had to go through to see if there was a continuous issue with the Windows update, because that sometimes causes an issue, which it wasn't. What was frustrating on this whole thing was when I went through to find a software that would help me clone the hard drive, because this laptop, just to show you what it is, just give me a second here, is an MSI GL63. A very good laptop for my stepdaughter. She, doesn't do a lot of gaming, just a lot of files and programs and pictures. So yeah, this is a good laptop. Comes with an GeForce 1060, I think it is, 1060 on here. Anyways, so I took it apart, pulled the hard drive out, and put it on my main computer and tried to clone the hard drive because it only had one hard drive, and I wanted to make sure I could copy everything over and then just slap in the new hard drive that I had laying around here for her. Well, lo and behold, just bear with me for a second here. So yeah, the programs I went through, I looked around on the Google to see which ones were the best one for cloning software. I wanted something free because I'm only going to do it one time. I don't want to pay something that I'm not going to use on a regular basis. And what was funny was some of the programs would say, oh, it's free, until you went to clone, and then it said, oh, sorry, you got to pay for this one. And that happened to me twice when they said the stuff was free on their website. One of them, the first time it happened, I was really ticked off because I spent all this time getting it installed and getting ready and setting everything up, and boom. Oh, and by the way, I had to do a check disk on the hard drive that was failing just so that I could clone it, because I kind of figured there would be an issue with that. So I wanted to go through some of the programs that I used and the problems that I went through. It was very interesting. So the first one up, this company Acronis was the worst, in my opinion, in installing it and uninstalling it. and also kind of saying, oh, wait a minute, it's free, but it's not free. The biggest problem I had with this one, and this was interesting because when I downloaded this program, I had it sitting there and I hadn't used it the night before, that night. My wife comes onto the computer and she tries to log into Zoom. No webcam. Gets stuck. No video playback on the webcam. Can't figure it out. Zoom locks up. Have to shut it down, reboot it. Same thing, same thing. So she had to, I'm sitting there going, it worked the day before. I'm not sure what's going on. So anyways, I figured out a workaround. I had to use OSB Studio, do the virtual camera to work it through the Zoom. Not ideal, but it worked, but a pain in the butt. In the meantime, I started using this program to clone, and then it said, oh, we got to pay. So I got mad. I uninstalled it. It got stuck on the uninstalled in the last little section. And it sat there, and it sat there, and it sat there. So then I finally got frustrated and I aborted the uninstall sequence. Big friggin' mistake. This program right here embedded itself really hard for me to get it out. Now, not all of it is negative. I have to say, these guys, Anchorness, sorry if I spelt the name wrong or saying the name wrong, did supply a uninstall tool that did an extra little bit of job than the uninstall when you had an issue with it. It didn't work the first time. Didn't work the second time. So out of frustration, I end up taking all the programs there and manually deleting everything. I then had to leave it for a day. Meanwhile, my wife is trying to do Zoom using the roundabout way that I can do it. And the funny part was, once you started the OSB Virtual Studio and then shut it off, Zoom could access the camera. Very bizarre. Very bizarre. I couldn't figure it out. But the moment you shut the computer down and reboot it again, the camera would lock up on Zoom, or the Zoom would lock up and no video on the camera. Then the light bulb came on. This program is what I figured was the root cause of the Zoom issue. We had phoned Zoom and, talked to them or, text them and everything else. And they said, oh, well, they asked her to do a whole bunch of stuff and she tried it and didn't work. So then they went away and said they were going to come back to us and talk. Well, they hadn't, and they still haven't, which is funny because I ended up solving the problem. So after I took everything down, I tried the uninstall program that they supply for this program when it gets in this hinky way of doing stuff. So what the program is that they utilize, it's called the Anchorness True Image Cleanup Utility. Like I said, I used it about 3 times beforehand, didn't work, and then on the 4th try, after removing all the data and stuff off it, it cleaned it up. Now there are they do, like I said, I'm giving them a little bit of kudos here because their steps here finally worked. So we did this, and I did all this as we're going through here, and then they tell you to go through all the registry and edit some of the stuff. And when I went through there was nothing left. It was all gone. And lo and behold, when we started up Zoom, the webcam worked. So I don't know what it is that this particular company's software was interfering with the webcam to Zoom specifically, not anything else. Every other program worked. It was just Zoom. Bizarre, eh? Who knew? Just one of those wonderful things that can't come up. So the next program I tried to use was Ease US. Installed it. Yep, worked. No problem. But again, oh, sorry, you want to pay? And it's $100 Canadian. I'm sorry. I'm doing it one time. One time. Not a multiple times. If I would buy it if I, this one I probably would have bought if I needed it, but I didn't. Then I tried this guy, Macrium Software. Somebody, recommended it in the Reddit and everything else. The unfortunate part on this one was it stalled on the installation every single time. I tried everything I could think of. Didn't work for me. Now, I'm not saying that it wouldn't work for somebody else. I want to make that clear. Again, the same thing with Anchorness. It did work, but it was a pain in the ass to uninstall. So after a little bit of wrangling and everything else, I found something else. And this one is what I end up using. And this is the one that J2 Cents also utilized. I found out after doing all this, this one is a free one, does a true backup of image file or a clone of the hard drive, no cost. So if you need something that you need to clone a hard drive or any of the other stuff, this is the hardware. This here, Mobi, is really good. Highly recommended. Installed properly, did all its work. Anyways, that is my frustration of the day, or the frustration for the last week and a half, trying to solve this problem with the hard drive. I'm a stubborn person. I just didn't want to install Windows again. I just wanted to clone it. Finally, after trying to clone it, the hard drive was just too far gone that I end up having to actually do a fresh install of Windows on the laptop and reinstall everything. Now it's working fine, and hopefully she will be happy with it. And like I said, in the meantime, I had problems with my computer while dealing with this. It was, the other thing is my wife's other laptop was having problems with Zoom and some other issues here and there. It was, for the last 2 weeks, a technology challenge. And I have to say, people, I really enjoy those kind of challenges. I really do. Everything I've learned in regards to computers and everything else is self-taught. And I enjoy it. I enjoy the troubleshooting. It can be frustrating, and I can go away angry. But at the end of the day, I get great satisfaction when I've solved a problem. Like when I got the Anchorus off and Zoom was working perfectly, I went, congratulations. Because the light bulb came on and said, that program is doing something. Now, why it's doing it, no idea. So if any of you have the similar issues, make a comment down below. Let me know. And maybe we'll give it to Zoom and Anchorus, and they can probably figure out what's going on. Anyways, if you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. Subscribe. Really would appreciate it for me to get over that 10 viewer threshold. Woohoo! All right, everybody, you take care and peace out.